Hi guys, this is Jean Holden, producer of the show, and I just wanted to take a minute to let you know where you can find us on the internet. Please go to ThatMan on Fatman.com. There you can find out all the things you need to know about the show. You'll be able to find links to the podcast, to YouTube, to Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and Snapchat. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Death Wish Coffee. Death Wish Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. ThatMan on Fatman is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom for creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
Yes, please note that use of all sound effects is done ironically.
Ooh-ah. You are listening to ThatMan on Fatman with Scott and Jean Holden, and they, trust me, have a great ass.
The second Y is sent in by
ThatMan on Fatman.
Oh, right on. Scott Holden.
Scott Holden, yep.
And what does Scott want?
Call me Scott because I'm Holden.
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So, yes, you absolutely did the right thing.
Okay, what has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? ThatMan!
Scott, who does ThatMan on Fatman podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh-ah.
Well, once upon a time, just a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit written by old Kev Smith.
Ooh-ah. ThatMan on Fatman.
Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts.
Who is he? He's that man. He's talking.
Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around.
Go get him, that man.
So I created a show with one heck of a plan, and I call that show ThatMan on Fatman.
ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
ThatMan on Fatman. ThatMan on Fatman.
Go get him, that man.
We're gonna talk about Kevin Smith.
Go get him, that man.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode. I have no fucking clue of ThatMan on Fatman. ThatMan on Fatman. Probably the last time we'll be titled this. Hint, hint. But until then, ThatMan on Fatman here. That's right. Sundown, you better take care when I find you sleeping with a dude over there. And with me here in the studio is none other than co-host extraordinaire, Jean Holden.
Hi, guys. That's like so many things.
Welcome back. Sundown, you better take care when I find you sleeping and licking hair.
That would be you. Now, I wonder if the audience knows who that magnificent...
What?
artist.
That would be...
No, don't say it. You have to
well,
give
I mean,
them
if
some
anyone's
time.
a fan of this show, and therefore a fan of SModcast, then you would know that is...
That is Gordon Lightfoot.
Yes. Sundown... Oh, wait, hang on. Sundown... I can't do it without the reverb. Sundown, you better take care. Blah, 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 blah. Meow, 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 meow.
And he goes, if I find you've been creeping down up the state, like down, up, like I don't get
If I find you creeping up and down my stairs, you stuck in creep. You stuck in creep.
But yeah, those were the
you
memories
stuck in creep.
of
you
growing
stuck
up.
in creep.
It's like the 70s.
Yes, it
growing
was the
up
70s.
in the 70s.
Yes, the 70s.
Like, the same as like John Denver and all those kind of dudes.
Grandma's featherbed.
Yes. The 70s brought with it some memories.
Yes, yes.
So.
See, that's what happens when you let the unresponsible excessively use pot.
You get Gordon Lightfoot? Sundown?
No, you get Elton John, Grandma's featherbed.
Oh.
And then he crashes his plane.
Oh, my God. Who was that? Elton John?
Yeah, didn't he die in a plane crash or some shit?
No, not Elton John. John Denver.
John Denver. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, was he stoned? I didn't know.
I don't know, but I do believe he was a big weed dude.
Yeah.
Also, so was fucking Harrison Ford, who like fucking crashed a plane.
Yeah, these people for some reason the plane and smoking is not a good combo for them. So that probably shouldn't have been.
But they keep working. So
yeah.
Well, not obviously. John Denver is no longer.
I know.
Right.
Oh my God.
Sorry for John Denver and Elton.
God, remember those movies?
Are we talking about this because we saw the Queen movie yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian
for anyone out
Rhapsody.
there who it's everything you expect.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's the mythology. It's the mythology of Queen. It's not necessarily it's not necessarily historically accurate in all respects. It's just sort of the mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And it was everything I expected. The only thing that bothered me as a Queen fan were some of like the material was proposed often more for plot reason than really where it stood in their catalog and when it was written and that kind of thing. But,
okay.
So and liberties were taken in that respect.
Right. So they really.
But again, it was
build...
a mythology. It was more about the Queen mythology. If you're a Queen fan, you couldn't have left the theater having not seen what you expected. The only other thing that also just bugged me is that even in a Freddie Mercury movie, it seemed like gay was a sin that had to be apologized, condemned, and and he had to die to sort of
to be ashamed of,
to pay his for not being straight or some shit. That kind of there's an underlying sort of theme there,
like
which
AIDS,
is so traditionally fucking Hollywood.
Like AIDS was his punishment.
Yeah. Like because the general public doesn't know how to handle. Oh, someone has touched someone else's private part in a way that you might not have.
Right.
Right. It's so funny when you put things in very basic perspective.
Yeah. But I think the fans are, not given enough credit in that respect.
Yeah.
Because we know.
Yeah. But, it was...
That's not how it happens.
There are some great moments, like the moment where he tells the band, that he, that he has it. I don't know if it really went like that, but, it was a moving moment.
Yeah, it was done well. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for the mic there.
There was a hair caught in it. Like, my hair is everywhere.
Yes.
It was very well done. It was respectfully done. It was, all of the key moments were hit.
Yes.
The music was great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, the girl who played Mary was adorable.
Yeah, it's everything you want from one of those, rock operas kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, not rockumentaries, but biopics.
Right. I mean,
it was better than the Doors movie.
Yeah. someone this morning was trying to figure out another movie, like a, I guess it was a biopic.
A biopic, yeah.
They couldn't think of one, and then they were talking about The Doors, and they
Well,
started
The Doors would be
laughing.
close to it.
The Door, I mean, and The Doors was kind of cute, but not like.
That's not. It was kind of cute. It was. They were trying, but it was another movie that ended up moralizing more than telling the story of the band.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't as good as this movie. I thought that he did a great job.
Again,
I loved it.
This was everything. I don't know why people are shitting on it because, like, what did you expect?
That's what I mean. I'm trying to think of what more
I don't
did
get
you
it.
want?
I mean, it's pretty much. I read one review that said it's the Wikipedia page, but what the fuck do you expect? I mean, it's a fucking rock band movie, and it really isn't even the band story as much as it really is Freddie's story. So
yeah, did they not get into more of his life?
No, I think it's a Hollywood movie. They take,
I love
like I said, do you really think he stopped off at his parents' house on the way to fucking Wembley? Of course not.
Yeah, they had
why
to
was it
fit
there?
that in.
It's a fucking, because they had to keep the story moving.
Yeah, it made
things
sense.
like that.
I mean, and I appreciate it. It was well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these are the movies you're like, oh God, I
And
hope
that's
they do
that.
well.
And ironically,
because they can't fuck it up.
as goofy as that seemed, that's the scene that everyone in our family either cried or almost cried.
When?
During that scene where he hugs his dad or whatever. Spoiler.
It's a beautiful scene. Yeah, I love that. That's a victory.
I mean, yeah, and obviously
sorts.
it's milk toast. It's milk toasty. It's a little schmaltzy, but that's the way these movies are. I mean, it's
Right.
it's a rock drama,
Right. And they bring out a humanness, and they bring out our empathy, and they
yeah. So
how
again,
the reasons why we love the people.
These are based in fact.
Yeah, because Freddie Mercury, everybody that knows Freddie Mercury loves him.
Yeah, and the guy did a great job playing him. Everybody did a great job playing the characters they played. They look so much like the fucking people they played.
The casting was great. The acting was great. The music was great.
Yeah, so most of the people didn't even recognize fucking Mike Myers until
my God,
he
Mike
sounded like the
Myers.
Cat in the Hat at one point.
I didn't notice that part. Mike Myers did a fabulous job.
I'll never hear you again, or something like that. But he goes right into the Cat in the Hat, and also the Scottish guy from fucking what do you call it? So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I remember asking you, was it Fat Bastard?
Fat Bastard. Yeah, exactly. So those are the moments where it's like, oh,
Mike Myers. Yeah. I hope he wasn't a dick to work with. I heard that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Anyway,
I enjoyed it.
Way to bring up. Geez, there's so much to talk about, but really, what we need to say is we're going to drop this today. It's going to be Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But get out there and vote.
Yeah.
People, if you're listening to this and it's Monday night, Monday evening, tomorrow, get out there and fucking vote.
Very important.
We've all been. I've had this on my fucking agenda for 2 fucking years now.
Oh my God, I can't believe it's tomorrow already.
Yeah. So anyone out there, rain or shine, I hear the weather's supposed to be terrible, particularly on the East Coast tomorrow. There could be fucking tornadoes and as Bill Maher said, this Trump's presidency in and of itself is proof there is no God. The weather is only backing that up.
Oh my God.
But there's a lot of craziness going on, and so now is your chance. Now is all of our chance to do as best we can. Try and put a genie back in the bottle.
Right.
We could be like J.J. Abrams, who's now apparently, I just saw some article, really trying to fix all the shit that got fucked up in that horrible, fucking awful,
Star Wars,
terrible shit version of Star Wars. That was the last version. Yes, I'm saying it with contempt and utter, because it was garbage. And that director should be drummed from show business. Thank you.
Well,
he should be treated worse than fucking Sean Gunn, for God's sake. No,
I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So
and on that note, Sean Gunn is now slated to write the Suicide 2 script. Apparently not. No one is slated to direct yet. What did I say? Suicide Squad 2. Yes.
Okay.
And there's still action that he may come back to direct fucking
Guardians.
They're still
God,
like
I hope so.
People won't let that one go.
Yeah, that movie is.
There was a billboard up recently, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think
that,
I don't know. You never know. Disney may fucking. There might be enough water under the bridge that Disney changes their mind.
I hope they do.
Who knows?
And that movie needs to happen because that's like
well,
a necessary movie, and he's the only one that can do it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yes, in an important election, let's talk about James Gunn.
Hey, you know what?
Is it James or Sean? Are we talking about the right Gunn?
Yes, James Gunn is the director, and Sean Gunn
I know.
was
It's so
Rocket.
easy to confuse them too.
Yeah, they're great. Both of them are great.
Anyway, yes, listen back to our archives to hear Sean Gunn on this very show.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
So
going back to the voting, wherever you are.
Also, just if you heard the last show, the dog and all that, it's been a while, but I've rebounded, and also been doing a lot of work too. So
yes,
it's like I don't know how much I can talk about. I should talk about.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've been on the set of a few movies in the last few. Well, you guys knew about one, and then there's another one, much more recently, with. I don't know if I said it was starring Adam Sandler, but I don't think I can.
Yeah,
I don't think that's telling tales out of school because it is in fact that I was employed on a film that starred Adam Sandler.
Right.
And it was a cool experience. I got to meet him professionally that I had an exchange with something I did in my job, and it was a neat moment. So that was cool. Let's see what else is going on, and worked a couple days on a. This is a show that I can't say anything about because they are very big on no social media. But yeah, when it all shakes out, I can talk about it. But let's just say it's a reality show, and it was a high profile reality show, and very interesting. To work a few days on that set, and I could talk about that more again later. But so, yeah, in addition to, if you go, why is the show not happening? Why are you guys not putting out the show? First, massive depression, massive, big life event stuff. And then after that, a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
then my work kind of brought me into a weird schedule.
Yeah, and Jean now has a new job, and she's working full time. And yeah, she has a weirder schedule, but it's not that weird.
Well, it's later. I get out later in the day.
Yes, which means we have to, if we want to do things like, actually, to me, it works out better because my energy is up in the morning. So,
if we can maybe doing this more.
Yeah, recording and then putting it right out is more the way to go. Of course, that means everything is getting guests and recording them in advance. Today, our guest is a really strange one. Our friend Bane, T-Bane, has sent over his biological concoction where he cloned himself, but also added the DNA of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I hear that's not hard to get.
Well, I think it's
I hear it's like almost, it's very easy to catch Donald Trump DNA.
Is that something that you find?
From what I hear, he's like a fucking salmon. He spawns his shit all over, his DNA all over the place. So, just ask Stormy Daniels.
Is that the stuff you get if you go to like 23andMe or something?
Yeah, I think so, or something. Yeah, she got. But anyway, so he took some Donald Trump DNA and he fused them together in a Frankenstein-like monster and has Trump-Bane coming in.
Bane.
So I guess that's a new T for the Trump.
Wow.
Yeah. So
because
that'll be our guest
Trump
in a moment.
Have a similar.
A mindset? Yeah.
Mindset?
Yeah, they're both villains.
So
they're both comic book villains, so it makes sense. It
so
totally
now
makes sense.
It's going to be amplified. And
yeah. I guess it will be amplified.
Amplified.
Yes, that'll be a very important part of the process, I'm sure. Well, anyway, so very important. And the reason we have this guest in, of course, is tomorrow you got to fucking get out there and vote. And
oh my God, it's
you
so
don't
important.
You don't want Trump-Bane, and his descendants, running around Congress. So, but we'll give you more of that in a little bit. Anything else we should go over before we move on?
I mean, really, we just wanted to talk about, reminding everyone to vote.
Yes, and also remind them why they should vote.
Use your, the...
And on that note, I think we'll just turn it over to...
Yes, I have a lot to say about it.
Our guest who will be coming in, and that's Mr. Biological Fusion, made by our regular friend T-Bane. That's right. Here he is, the one, the only, Mr. Trump-Bane.
And now, here's our guest.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I just want to say, Gene, it's so nice to meet you. May I grab you by the pussy, madam?
No. What the hell?
Who
Who invited you?
I'm here to show everybody what a Trump future looks like.
What a douchebag is.
This is the future.
What happens? I have no say in anything.
Remember, if you vote tomorrow, you might be able to terminate the future of Trump-Bane.
What kind of accent?
Which kind of sounds like I think I sound like Terminator Trump over here.
Like Coney Island Charlie or something.
Coney Island? Well, that's fucking Donald Trump in a nutshell. I'm in Queens and I want to be Brooklyn. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message.
Sure you do.
So don't you think that it would have been better? You know how guys get to look at a woman's fun bags because they're all just hanging out there on the chest.
No, they're not.
Don't you? Well, if you don't have any fun bags to look at, then that's your fucking problem, isn't it, lady? But anyway, the women who are out there who are able to either invest in silicone or who are graced with a natural bosom. You're able
cleavage is what you mean.
You're able to assess so much of that person from those boobs.
Really?
Well, you are as a man. So
I
wondered if it was not some accident of biology that God did not place the man's penis right on his chest. So that way the woman would have something to assess more publicly.
Okay.
And you'd be able to make sense of why a man behaves exactly the way he does very quickly. By I see the lump in your chest is not very big, and that's why you act like Donald Trump. It's perhaps shaped like a large flattened mushroom, from what I've heard. Like, did you ever get, what is it, the burger where they replace the burger part, the meat, with a mushroom?
Like
and they try and pass that shit off like it's meat.
Like a portobello.
Ah, yeah. So my dick is like a portobello mushroom on a little tiny stalk.
A stalk?
Yes. A mushroom stalk.
Oh, okay.
Not like I'm stalking Stormy Daniels.
Oh, my God.
After I blew my Trump-like seed all over her face.
But I don't think that women, like, having a penis on your chest would be the same as breasts, because I think...
Wouldn't it make you hard?
No, because I don't think it's the same thing.
It wouldn't get you all... It wouldn't make your dick hard?
No.
Like it makes mine?
It would, maybe.
When I look at boobs, my dick gets hard. I don't know if you know this.
I know. Well,
of course, it also requires me to take several thousand Viagra pills. And, of course, say a seance and slaughter a small child. See, that's why I've done the Separation Act. So I could get all these babies, so I could slaughter them and sacrifice them to the gods to get a hard-on again.
Oh, my God.
This is my plan. Did I say this out loud?
Is that what it takes to get you hard?
Well, that and several thousand Viagra pills.
That's a lot of pills, though. You probably shouldn't take that many.
Well, I think they're swimming upstream against all the Roxys I'm taking to mellow my fucking self out. Because have you heard me talk at these events?
Yeah,
I can't even say words anymore.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of times...
What words are these that I cannot say?
You slur your words a lot.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. What is your name again?
My name is
Bane Trump?
Bane Trump, yes, of course.
Okay.
Bane Trump does Roxy's and is not in any way related to Donald Trump other than I'm a genetic clone of Trump and Bane.
So
mixed together in a laboratory and am now a type of comic book character villain.
Do you drink? Do you drink?
I drink obsessively and then lie about it.
So you drink
but I have nothing
together.
You know, because Trump says that he doesn't drink, and of course he always tells the truth about everything. Because apparently his brother was a gay brother who died of drinking.
He does not say. He didn't tell the truth ever. Trump?
Trump is always honest. What are you talking about?
Well, sir.
So if Trump is a liar, so if Trump lies about everything, why does everyone believe him about the drinking thing? When he slurs on fucking stage like a fucking animal.
He really does. He is like...
And the toilet paper on the fucking shoe.
That was so great.
That's like what a drunk does. And you know what said?
And then he took the
umbrella. What
umbrella.
does it say about everyone around him that they allowed that to happen?
Yeah.
You sound good. What are you talking about?
No, it sounded like it was loud. Sorry about that.
You're always loud. You always try. You start out quiet, then you play with the volume of your mic. You go, I can't figure out why I'm now louder. Classic sound problem. But we're getting a little too inside here, folks. Waka waka. Where's my sound effects? We're recording in our bedroom, which is kind of hot.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I mean, we're recording in the Holden's bedroom today because I'm Trump-Bane. In no way related to Scott Holden with a vocal processor going.
There's nothing hot about Trump-Bane.
What are you talking about? Don't you like my recent most orange complexion you've ever seen? I literally look like a carrot with white eyes. It's like a carrot with two pearl earrings stuck to its face.
I think he was a carrot for Halloween and forgot to wipe it off.
He's fucking like...
that was way orange.
My clone is fucking so orange.
He was dressing up as himself for
Halloween.
Halloween.
He looks like he has fucking hepatitis.
Ew, it was horrible.
He's like, fucking, what's wrong with you? Are you jaundiced, sir?
His face.
Oh, it's okay. The only thing white are your eyes.
His face was
Usually
orange.
They get yellow, too, in conjunction with jaundice.
Yeah.
His eyes are becoming whiter.
His face was like the only thing orange.
Maybe Stormy Daniels gave him a pearl eyeness. I don't know. That was a reach. Sorry.
It's okay. I like Stormy Daniels.
I like Stormy Daniels, too, when she's sucking on my penis. Mm-hmm. My mushroom type of penis. And I am grabbing her by the pussy, as I so often do.
Sounds
so
like
vote for all my Nazi colleagues, because I am officially a white racist.
Well, I say vote Democrat, so go out tomorrow.
Have you had enough of Trump-Bane? Has he pushed enough of your buttons?
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
But
I was
he kind of sounds a lot like my old friend Jude for some reason. He's becoming my impression of my friend Jude.
Jude and Scott the engineer.
And Scott the engineer as well. Yes. Ooh, I'm Donald Trump, the Scott the engineer, Donald Trump. Trump the engineer.
Yeah. It's funny how Howard...
I've now morphed with 5 different people.
Yeah. Howard just gets into your psyche.
Well, if you were of that age.
Yep.
Yes.
It was a very impressionable age.
Yes. I say he raised me. Thank God I've grown out of so much of it.
Yeah. Well, the same thing as Letterman, too.
Yeah. Well, watching the 80s thing was interesting.
That was fun. I like that one.
Some of it gets a little much, but yeah. I enjoy those series. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this Trump-Bane.
And go out and vote.
Yeah, and we probably should talk a little bit about we're changing the name of the show. We're finally going to do it. We're pulling the plug.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense with Fatman Beyond becoming Fatman, with Fatman on Batman becoming Fatman Beyond. It only makes sense to follow suit and go over to Batman Beyond. But as far as legacy and show and cutover, I mean, we will still consider it the same show.
Oh yeah,
and it'll be formally known as Batman on Batman. Yeah. But
and you'll still be able to go back into the archives and see.
You'll they'll probably we'll keep the old name as much as we can. There will be some fine tweaks, but for the most part, I mean, it will be transparent in that you'll be able to go to ThatManOnFatman.com, which will take you to our to the show, or you'll be able to go to ThatMan. God, I'm not even used to this yet. Oh, God bless you. We don't have the cough button going. Was that a cough or a sneeze?
That was a cough. I just didn't want to.
Okay. Well, I covered my base either way. So now we're going over to ThatMan Beyond, which, truthfully, if you go to ThatManBeyond.com now, it takes you to the show. So, but the cool thing is, we have the very man who did the Fatman Beyond logo to do the Thatman Beyond logo. That's one Mr. Jeff Quigley.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, so he's awesome. And he had no problem. He was like, he stepped right up and was like, yeah, I'd love to. And it's so funny, too, because, like, it's that kind of back and forth exchange, and he needed a picture from us, and I so knew that we were like, I knew we had to do it, and I knew we had to get it out to him, and it had been a day or two, and I even said to Gene yesterday morning, I'm like, we got to take this picture and send it to Jeff. And then, sure enough, by noon, we hadn't done it, and he finally sent the thing, hey, I need that picture.
Yeah.
I was like, darn, if only we'd been a few
he's
hours.
On the nose. He's a pro.
If only we had been a few hours sooner.
I know.
We would have had it.
And I hate the picture we sent.
Yeah,
that's all right.
But it just needed to show him a general idea of what we look like.
I'm sure he'll make us look great.
Well, if you go look at the Batman.
Yeah.
No, the Fatman Beyond logo.
Yeah.
They're caricatures.
And they're covered with like.
They have
I don't know what the hell do, but that's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
So.
They'll just look a little. One will be more freckled.
Yeah.
And one won't be black.
I know. I loved it. I love their new one.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That's what their change is. I mean, it gets boring.
Yeah, but here's the downside. I really am very happy with our current theme. And I have to change that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're going to have to change that. That's the only thing that I'm unhappy about, because I really like what we got now. Because it has references to the show in it, and so now those are all those self-references have now become kind of...
well, maybe you can keep some of that in there somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Formerly, ThatMan on Fatman.
Maybe.
And have like 9,000 people saying that.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody has any ideas too, send them on over.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
But the next show will be soon.
Don't rest on your laurel.
Will be coming to you as soon as possible. So do not leave us.
And there's a good chance it will be under its new name.
Yes.
But again, that's sort of a process too, so bear with us. Bear with us.
Yeah,
bear with
us. It won't be too much longer.
Bear with us. Bear with us.
But we did want to send you something.
And we want to get you out there voting.
Yes.
At the very least, because that's something that's been on my mind. And I've even heard Kevin Smith reference it in regards to some things over the past few months. He's like, I hear there are a few more important things going on in the country than our bullshit.
Right. And you feel, helpless, hopeless, but you can do something. You can go down the street, or wherever. I hope it's not far for you guys to vote.
If we flip Congress, Congress can have subpoena power.
Yeah.
The Democrats can have subpoena power and actually start investigating shit under oath.
And if you hate Trump,
get to the truth.
I hate what's going on, and that's
yeah, me too.
That's how we exercise our right. So
yes, and if you identify as anything other than a white nationalist or a nationalist, you really should be out there tomorrow.
And don't vote stupid, liberal or whatever the fuck. Not
just vote Democrat.
What is it?
Just vote Democrat. Vote D.
That's
vote
it.
Democrat. Vote down the line. It's the only way to put a check on power. Just
independent.
Don't.
That's
You
what
don't
I'm
even,
saying.
yeah, independent. Fuck third party bullshit.
Don't do the
haven't we
third
learned
party
this
shit.
fucking lesson?
Yeah. Yeah, the third party don't do that. Democrat, because that's what we need right now.
As I wolf down some beverage. But anyway.
Democrat. And then you'll get your sticker, and then you're awesome. Thumbs up.
And then, we'll commiserate on Wednesday, I guess. But until our next show,
we'll commiserate.
We're so glad that you'll that you're listening, that you're staying by us, and the gears will be firing back up soon. Again, this is like the apology show. This is the why we haven't been putting out shows as prolifically.
Not so much an apology, but to say, hey,
explanation.
we're doing okay.
Yeah. Things are going on, and cool stuff. So
right.
Anyway,
a life is happening.
Yes. And until next time, we want to let you know, if no one else has told you, that you're smart and good today. We think that you're smart and good, and thank you for listening. And we'll catch you next time on ThatMan on Fatman.
Bye, guys.
Smiling, praying for some faith. Thoughts are drifting through my mind and filling it with fear. Is there something else out there, and just why are we here? Then I see the world will turn, and we must be its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, gone comes we must reply. Powers from our mother earth, they'll blow us to our knees. While our souls combined as one, come join us if you please, if you please. Reading moments one by one and smirking like a thief. Sleeping through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and matter's wake is coming from our sun. Living in this very moment, for this moment's done. But now I see the dawn will come, and we are all its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, the Godhead in the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one, come join us if you please, if you please. Join another person's eyes, we worship at our shrine. Bursting flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our mother earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of comic light that vanish from the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All
There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all. Go get him, that man.